What's going on, folks? My name is Justin Freed, and I'm joined today by Michigan defensive tackle Kris Jenkins. Kris, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Life is great. Can't complain. I hope you're doing good. Shoot.
I'm doing great, man. It's a busy week for you, I know. So we can jump right in if you want.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, before we get into any NFL draft stuff, let's first talk about why you're here in the first place. So you're here today on behalf of Bounty. Talk to me a little bit about your partnership with Bounty ahead of next week's draft.
Well, the biggest thing with Bounty is, as a big man, I definitely got to get my food in. My burgers, my fries, especially upcoming next week. And the biggest thing we about to get into is them wings. And the biggest thing, you can't have football without them wings. And you can't have wings without Bounty. And they call it Bounty for a reason. They got to hit out for them stains, for them spills. And for a clumsy guy like me, there's no better brand to be partnered with than Bounty.
I love that, man. You can't do football without wings. That's for sure.
That's true. That's the truth.
Hell yeah, man. Now let's talk about some football. You, of course, you come from a football family. Your dad, Kris Sr., played in the NFL for a decade. I'm a Jets fan personally, so I have some fond memories of watching your dad with the Jets. And your uncle Cullen also played in over a decade in the NFL as well. What was it like growing up surrounded by football, kind of, going to your dad or going with your dad to games and stuff?
Oh yeah. Oh, it was awesome, man. Whenever I was there, being a part of the game, seeing the big stage, getting down on the field with them, seeing these giants, seeing the stadium, getting in the locker room, it was always a wonderful experience for me. And I knew then and there like what I wanted to be when I grew up. And now living that, being a part of this process, and they've been, training me, getting my mental right, from an early age, talking that trash,
Yep.
like, all right, young blood, you got a long way to go. Now it's my turn. And in a week, we about to see like it's going to be the beginning of hopefully a long and an amazing journey.
For sure. Do you have any favorite memories that you can remember kind of being around teams in the locker room and all that stuff?
Oh yeah, my one of my biggest memories was really when I was about like 5 or 6 years old when my dad played my uncle on Panthers versus Packers, and the Packers won that day. So I wouldn't say he was the happiest because he's competitive, but me and my cousins got down on the field and we were able to see it, go in the locker room, enjoy all of that, meet the teammates, meet the NFL players, and as a little kid, like I'm barely as big as I am now. This is amazing. Like this is the world. I was like, wow. So yeah, that moment has stuck with me, and now it's gonna be my turn.
Hell yeah, it is. That's awesome. Because like when you're that age, these are superheroes to you. Like they're
Yeah,
large life athletes. That's got to be amazing.
yeah. No,
What
it
are,
was incredible.
what are some of the biggest lessons that you say you've learned from your father and even your uncle over the years?
I'm definitely having a humble mind and staying the course, having that, continuing to have that chip on my shoulder, because the higher you get, and each level you go to, high school, college, NFL, you'll notice that the talent, everybody has talent. There's not really that big separation in talent because everybody's in talent and incredible athletes. So what's really going to separate you is that work ethic, that drive. How hard are you willing to outwork, the team you're going to face, your opponents? How hard are you willing to work to get yourself and your team to that point? And that's what they've instilled in me from day one. I got to be one of the hardest working, people of all time. I got to work harder than I've ever worked before in my life. And that's what I plan on doing.
That's the right mentality to have. And like you said earlier, you've had a lot of years to kind of hone that mindset and master it because you started playing football at a very young age. And obviously, being around your family that helped with that. You kind of hinted at it before, but was there any point specifically that you can remember that you realized that you wanted to play in the NFL one day?
Absolutely. And really just the moment I wanted to like really play football. Because when I first joined, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was a crybaby. I've never really gotten used to being hit. I never really done a lot of hitting. So I was really that kid back in the day, on Unity Thunder, on the Columbia Ravens or Pee Wee squads. I would try and duck out of the Oklahoma drills. Like, oh, my ankle hurts. I can't do it. Or like, oh, like I would cry when I got hit. So it really wasn't until like year three of playing football when I started realizing my strength and hitting people back. And it was fun. And it was fun. I was having a ball. And, I wanted to experience that feeling more. And, the more I did it, the higher we ended up going. And, now this is it. This is big leagues. This is big squad. So
That it
can't
is.
wait.
That it is. I mean, you're obviously your dad and your uncle made a career at hitting people. So I'm sure they had to instill that in you too. They're like, hey, you can do it too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Shoot, it even got to a point where he tried to get my confidence up, and he lined up with me. I'm in full pads. He's in no pads. And he's like, come on, hit me, show me what you got, son. Imagine that. But yeah, it's I'm blessed to have that type of mentorship.
Absolutely, for sure. And while you were at Michigan, you also earned the nickname the Mutant. And I got to say, it's a pretty badass name. That's a pretty badass
Yes,
name.
sir.
What is the origin story behind that name?
So I got it from Coach Herb himself. And you talking about badass? He's the original badass. And he started this tradition 2021 season where we were revamping our culture. He was going to go through during camp, go through every single player by position group each day and go through them with a whole team. This is an entire team meeting. Coaches, players, and staff are there and give an honest report of how each player attacked the winter and the summer training cycle. And this is my sophomore year. I haven't really gotten play time yet. I've been trying to work hard. So I don't know what he's going to say. He gets to me. He's like, Kris Jenkins is the mutant. Everybody, you hear all the whole staff. And from that moment, hearing it from a guy like Coach Herb, DOG, that's when it stuck. And that's when I started embracing it.
I mean, it's a sick name. Like that's got to be one of the best nicknames in this draft, I think.
No, very for sure. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, we got to talk about, of course, this past season as well because it was a magical one for you guys. Obviously, undefeated, 15-0 national champs. Not many college players can say that they ended their career on top like you did. So talk to me about what it was like to win that national championship and just right off into the sunset the way that you did.
It was a surreal experience because I will give props to our team. We had that one track mind. We still had that tunnel vision that there was one more job to do. After winning that Rose Bowl, having that amazing victory, it didn't really set in like we were playing in the championship. For us, it was another game, but this was it. Like we had to take care of business. So once we finally like got that third score and it was like 6 minutes left in the fourth, that's when it really started to set in. We did it. Like this is all that hard work. We did it. And when the confetti fell, man, that's when all the tears came out and all the happiness, the rejoicing. And it like you said, it was magical.
Yeah, all those years of hard work just to get to that moment, the culmination in your last college game, just going out in that way, it's got to be insane. And
Absolutely.
how much did winning that national championship influence your decision to go pro? Because you had another year of eligibility. Was that something you kind of already made up your mind going into that game, or did winning a national championship kind of solidify that for you?
Absolutely. To be honest with you, I knew this year coming back, like this was it. And like this was going to be my final college football season. And if there was a moment to take care of some unfinished business and do everything we said we were going to do, it was that year. And like it couldn't have ended more perfectly, for the last ride to go ahead and roll out like that and stop.
Definitely. Yeah, like I was saying before, like they ain't too many college players that can kind of end their career at the highest of highs like you did. So that's special. Uh,
Absolutely.
Speaking of special, you had the opportunity to learn from one of the greatest coaches, maybe ever at Michigan in Jim Harbaugh. So what was it like working under Coach Harbaugh? And to you, what is it that makes him such a special coach?
It was awesome because he's really got that enthusiasm, that passion for the game. And he's the same. This is what makes Coach Harbaugh Coach Harbaugh. He's the same person every single day. And he doesn't care what anybody thinks. He's gonna show you that. He loves you, he appreciates you, and he's gonna make sure we're damn good at football. And that's
Yeah.
and that's the biggest thing. And really just like his work ethic. Because he's not just one of those coaches that just is gonna push us to go there. He's gonna push us and he's gonna do the work with us. If we're doing 6 a.m. workouts, conditioning, strength training, he's doing it. And in khakis, in the polo, in the cap, in the Sperry's, the shoes, he's making sure he's gonna show us that he wants it too. And that's what really makes him, Coach Harbaugh.
I love that. Yeah, I was talking to one of your teammates, AJ Barner, the other day, and he was saying similar thing.
Mm,
Anybody on that team, anybody who's ever been coached by Jim Harbaugh, they all got the same thing to say about him, and it's what you just said. Like one of the most respected
absolutely.
for sure. You actually visited with Coach Harbaugh's new team, I believe, this week, the Los Angeles Chargers. I think Junior Colson was also there, your teammate at Michigan. Talk to me about whatever you can share about how that visit went and what it was like just catching up with Coach Harbaugh.
Well, it was awesome. Got a chance to see Coach Harbaugh in Cali. At the LA facility. Seeing how they operate, their plans for the future, and just seeing the coaches in the new office, in the office, in the official Chargers attire. So it was really surreal experience. We were fortunate enough to be there, and just like we said, I mean, at the end of the day, whatever happens, happens. But it was sick to see him up there, and that they do at the end of the day, they are interested. So we'll see how it pans out.
That'd be awesome to reunite with Harbaugh, with Coach Harbaugh in LA. You mentioned they were interested. Are there any other teams that you've met with a little bit that have shown interest leading up to the draft?
No, absolutely. I've been fortunate enough to meet with a bunch of teams, had a couple 30 visits, Cincinnati, Miami, and the Lions included. And they've been nothing but amazing. The coaches up there are amazing, awesome, straight up guys. And, really it's just like, it's been amazing, experience to see these coaches, see how they're fired up, how they operate, and, their plans out of what type of players they want, what type of culture they want. And, for me, it's been nothing but hype. It has been a lot of sleepless nights since then, just being excited on just, this is the next stage. We're gonna see what happens. So it's really excited.
Dude, I can imagine. It's got to be a hectic time. I could only imagine. You got a week left. It's almost there. You're almost there.
Almost there. We getting close.
All right, we got a little bit more time, so I'll ask you a couple of quick hitter, fun, more get to know you style questions. Right? You seem
Oh,
like
yes,
a
sir.
a fun dude. I want to hear what are some of your hobbies off the field when you're not playing football. What are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like a lot of people know this. I've said it a couple of times, but I'm a huge anime nerd type of guy, and I'm really a video game nerd type of guy. So I'm one of them. I'll watch all types of anime. I'm on it. I'll play all types of video games. I'm not just a Call of Duty type of guy, but I'm also like, give me on Final Fantasy, I'll run it. Horizon Zero Dawn, all the types of open world games. You'll just see me lock in. And yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm not a huge reading guy, but I'll read like the manga, they call it, like the anime comic books.
Yep.
And you'll just see me just lock in on it. But yeah, I'm really, yeah, point blank. I'm not really a huge fishing guy or any of that, but I will fish. I won't fish for like 13 hours like my uncle though, but I'll get it in every now and then.
I feel like people who are into anime get a bad rep. Like I feel like there's you'd be surprised. I mean, I don't know if you'd be surprised. A lot of people might be surprised. There's a ton of pro athletes that are really into anime. Like that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
I'm not
No,
surprised by it at all.
yeah, no, it's facts. I mean, just about watching certain anime, and don't get me wrong, the thing is, you gotta find the right content because there's the weird stuff. You gotta leave it over that way. You gotta leave. If you leave that at the door, okay, then you're good. Because they're all different types of genres, like Goku, Attack on Titan, and they got like a lot of real world like morals and stuff like that. Like a lot of athletes can relate with, which is cool.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I got one last one for you. Ready? This is always one of my favorite questions to ask anybody I'm doing these interviews with. Honestly, just anybody in general.
Yes,
What
sir.
is what is your go-to karaoke song?
Ooh, what is it called? You know Al Green, right?
Oh, of course, of course. Let's stay together, right? That's Al Green.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
that's it. Or just the two of us.
another great one. Is that Marvin Gaye and what's her name? Terrell, her last name. I think it's Marvin Gaye, right?
I believe so. I could be wrong too, but
Grover
I believe
Washington.
so.
I don't know. Either way, amazing songs. Those are great choices. I gotta. Can you sing it all?
A little bit. I did choir
Yeah.
back in high school, so
Okay, you can carry a tune.
so
Okay.
yeah, just a little bit. I could just the two of us. I could get it. We could make it if we tried it. I can.
Yeah, I know you
I'm
hit
not
that.
in the music business for a reason though. I don't want to overhype myself up though, but I
Look, man.
can.
They have those rookie talent shows sometimes. I
Oh
think I
yeah.
I think I know what you might be doing.
Oh heck yeah. Put on some old school tracks on. It's ball game.
Yeah,
I will get the fit ready too.
oh, of course, of course. I love it, man. I love it. All right, Kris, I think we're about out of time, but dude, I really appreciate taking the time. You're awesome, man. Wishing you the absolute best of luck with the draft next week. Try and enjoy it as much as you can. I know it's a hectic time.
Absolutely.
Spend time with your family, with your friends. It is a busy time, but also an exciting time. So really appreciate taking the time today, man.
No, absolutely. Appreciate you again for having me. Like, thank you very much.